Tonight, the rumor mill is wrong about the resignation of Dr. Eubaldus Raymond. The Prime Minister dropped the bombshell ahead of the sitting of Parliament on Tuesday. The opposition St. Lucia Labour Party says it will not be distracted by the personal affairs of the Public Service Minister.
Our government will strengthen the Integrity Commission, will give it teeth.
And the Archbishop weighs in on the latest morality vis-a-vis politics debate. The details of these stories and much more are coming up.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Lovelace and Amy Joseph.
Good evening, it is Tuesday, the 9th of April 2019. Welcome to the Hot 7 Nightly News on Flow Channel 117, also being simulcast on Kiss FM 105.5 and 105.9, on our website www.caribbeanhottv.com, and of course on our free mobile app. I'm Lovely St. Amy Joseph. Thank you for joining us. As parliamentarians across the board refuse to speak on the controversy surrounding Dr. Eubaldus Raymond, Prime Minister Alan Chasney has debunked reports that his Public Service Minister has resigned. Rochelle Gonzalez begins our reporting tonight.
This matter is being dealt with by the Prime Minister. Any word on Eubaldus?
I have no idea. That's for the Prime Minister and the government to settle.
The Eubaldus situation, how President of the Senate is going to deal with that?
Well, I do not know the situation to be. I think like you have just heard what's happening, the rumors, but I have not received or heard anything official, so I don't know what's the situation.
What about the situation involving fellow Senator Dr. Eubaldus?
These were the comments of parliamentarians when they were questioned about the controversial Dr. Eubaldus Raymond on Tuesday morning. Members of the local media flooded the House of Parliament prior to the throne speech with hopes of getting official word of Dr. Raymond's alleged resignation. Not even Castries Central MP Sarah Flood-Bobra, who is well known for her strong moral stances, wanted to touch the topic.
Any comment on Dr. Eubaldus Raymond and his alleged resignation?
No comment at all.
But in terms of personal integrity, ethics and morality, you clearly stand strong on that topic.
Well, I hope we all do.
But
I hope we all do. We all strive to. I hope so.
Madam Minister, what image does that paint on St. Lucia, this incident with Dr. Raymond, the second of its kind in about
I just said that I won't be commenting on it.
But you've spoken so much on other issues when it comes to integrity, etc., especially to like infidelity and whatnot. But why aren't you saying anything on your colleague now?
No, not now. Not today. I won't make any
Does that mean you're accepting it? Does that mean you're accepting it?
Questions on any other topic?
Are you comfortable serving with him, sitting in the same cabinet room?
I would be really happy if you would accept it for the moment. I won't be making any comment on this. The matter is with the Prime Minister, and I will allow the Prime Minister to speak.
Don't you feel that the people have a right to know what exactly is going on?
We don't know if a senator is or isn't. If the matter is with the Prime Minister, it's better I allow him to deal with it.
One person who did have something to say, though, was the Prime Minister himself, Alan Chasney. Whilst his words were short, they were impactful.
Mr. Chasney, you just said that you don't stand by anything that's wrong. Going back to the case of Dr. Eubaldus Raymond, he's clearly part of our leadership team in St. Lucia. And with all the scandals that he's been caught up with, aren't you worried that the image that he's sending out around the world is something that needs to be addressed?
Well, first of all, I have to get to ascertain what actually transpired. So there is an investigation, and that's why I would rather not be able to comment on it at this point. And certainly when I have all the facts, I'll be very happy to be able to do that.
So there are reports regarding his resignation incorrect?
That's not true.
It's not true.
So the news reports that he has resigned are incorrect?
Correct.
This is the third time that Dr. Eubaldus Raymond has been involved in scandalous situations in the last 2 years. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I'm Rochelle Gonzalez.
Following the controversy surrounding the Public Service Minister, Labour Minister and former Prime Minister Stephenson King says his fate within the party is left to the Prime Minister. King says it is up to Prime Minister Alan Chasney to examine for himself Dr. Raymond's ability to continue on in his post.
As the local media attempted to get parliamentarians to give their thoughts on the ongoing controversy surrounding Public Service Minister Dr. Ubaldus Raymond, one stood out from the rest to explain what he thinks should take place. Before speaking to Labour Minister Stephenson King, the most common response on the Dr. Raymond matter was no comment. However, whilst King did speak out, he did so to place the fate of the senator in the hands of the Prime Minister Alan Shasney.
It's really a decision taken by the executive of the party in terms of who should be a candidate and who should be a member of the cabinet is really a decision of the Prime Minister based on competence, integrity, ability, and of course their commitment to national development. And so if any member transgresses in the performance of his duties, it is left to the Prime Minister first and foremost to reconsider and to examine that member's ability to continue and to make a determination. And I think it is very clear, and of course in such a case that must be exercised.
The MP said, on the other hand, Dr. Raymond needs to look closer to home to determine whether he should resign or not.
There is a responsibility on the part of the member to determine, am I fit to continue? And that is a conscious this decision to be made as to his ability to continue.
King revealed that such cases like Dr. Raymond's are bound to have an effect on the people he regularly interacts with, namely his colleagues.
Any such activity of this nature would obviously psychologically affect every parliamentarian, every member of cabinet. And for us, it's certainly no doubt that it does.
Prior to Tuesday's throne speech, the PM confirmed that reports of the senator's resignation were all false. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I'm Rochelle Gonzalez.
We will have more on this matter in just a minute, but first, the St. Lucia Labour Party is maintaining its stand in terms of refusing to sit for the delivery of the throne speech as long as Sir Neville Snack is the Governor-General. Labrie MP Alva Baptiste spoke following a walkout on Tuesday ahead of the Governor-General's throne speech.
There is nothing out of the ordinary about the position that we have taken this year. It is in consonance with the position that we took last year, that we are not attending the throne speech. We cannot be sitting in the very same parliament where Mr. Neville Snack crossed the floor and listen to him in a joint sitting. When parliament is convened, where the GG, the House and the Senate meet, for us to be listening to the throne speech.
The Member of Parliament for Labrie says it's an especially raw nerve for him as he is the Labrie MP.
We are behaving in a manner consistent with our conviction, consistent with what we said last year, and next year it is going to be the same thing. In fact, for me, it's even more dramatic because it is in my constituency that all of this political treachery occurred. And so we stated our position very carefully prior to the appointment of Mr. Neville Snack, and no doubt the entire world knows our position. So today we are behaving in a manner consistent with our conviction, consistent with what we said last year, and next year it is going to be the same thing.
Baptiste praised the former Governor-General, Her Excellency Dame Paulette Louisi, for being all that the current Governor-General is not. Now, the leader of the opposition, Philip J. Pierre, is reminding the public to keep their eyes on the prize. When pressed on the situation regarding now disgraced Minister Dr. Ubaldus Raymond, Pierre notes that the real issues at hand should not take a back seat to the gossip of the hour. Solange Alfred reports.
Outside of the House of Assembly for the opening session of Parliament, questions swirled around one particular topic, the alleged resignation of Senator Ubaldus Raymond and the salacious telephone conversations purportedly between him and a Trinidadian woman. The leader of the opposition was questioned as to what his line of action would have been if the shoe was on the other foot. If a minister in a Philip J. Pierre administration were to be caught up in such a scandal, would he give that minister the boot? Pierre says that the private affairs of senators should not distract from the real matters at hand.
We have bigger fish to fry. We're not getting involved in these things. What we're dealing with is guy goes up and writing a contract, the direct award, for 62 million US dollars. We're promising that contract to little known contractors for 62 million US dollars. That's what we did. We're not dealing with Mr. Ubaldo's private life. We're not getting involved in that. We have bigger fish to fry, and fish is the governance of this country, the idea that this country is being run by a cabinet with no consultation with parliament, the idea that direct awards are given. Only recently you heard about another direct award being given to a company to construct the hospital. That's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with these issues. We're not dealing with these salacious issues. To some people, that may be outrageous. My personal opinion is that should not have been done, but I'm not getting involved in the business of judging. I'm not getting involved in that. All I'm saying is that should not have happened.
What would you do if you was a member of your team?
Well, I would hope no member of my team would be caught in that manner. I'd very much hope so. If a member of my team was ever caught doing that thing, I'm sure that he would have, in his own rights, resigned.
Meanwhile, on the issue of politicians being held accountable for their actions, Pierre insists that under his government's ruling, the Integrity Commission would receive a much-needed boost.
I've said to you that our government will strengthen the Integrity Commission, will give it teeth, and I've said to you that we will ensure that all ministers do what the law says.
Further pressure by members of the media left the leader of the opposition passing the buck to the current administration.
That is the matter for the United Workers' Party. Our party has serious things to do. We go into a budget where growth is only 1.5%. That's the reality of the situation, where unemployment is over 20%. These are the issues that we're dealing with. So all the other issues are important. What we're dealing with is a situation on the ground in St. Lucia. Growth of 1% after it was projected to be something nearly 3 or 4%. 1% a situation where the capital expenditure has not been met. These are the issues that we're speaking about.
With the current administration confirming that Senator Ubaldo Raymond has not resigned, camera crews stood ready and waiting for his arrival outside of the House of Assembly, but the Minister and Senate was MIA for the opening session of the Parliament. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Solange Alfred.
Thank you very much, Solange. This is the Hot 7 Nightly News. When we come back, the Archbishop weighs in on the morality debate surrounding politics. The outgoing Venezuelan ambassador says there are no hard feelings for Prime Minister Alan Chasney over his March visit with Donald Trump, and plans are afoot to beef up school security and drive down the number of robberies targeting these institutions. These stories and more when we return.